Olivia sleeps naked.
I sleep. Everyone knows.
I could have done that better. I could have done more with this today. I could have done more yesterday. Like, it's just constantly like needing to be more than what you are.
So much of it was like, oh, how did you get on the channel? Which guy are you sleeping with, Ian or Anthony?
Don't like games on a screen.
You don't have games on your phone?
Yeah, Instagram.
Nice.
You got crystals in your bladder?
Yeah, it hurts.
Okay. Hey guys, I want to give a quick shout out to Hims and ZipRecruiter for sponsoring this episode. Guys, welcome to another episode of the SmoshCast. I'm Courtney, your host today, and I'm here with Olivia Sway and Mari Takahashi.
Ooh, yeah.
It's us. Last week you got the boys, and this week you got whatever you want to be.
Yeah.
Or whatever you feel
You've got
you are.
us.
But you got us. You got us. And before we get going, I just want to say, guys, if you are enjoying this podcast series, punch that notification bell so you can see our video version, see our cute little faces. You guys look so cute today. Mari, your freaking sweatsuit.
So cute.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But notice her hair.
I'm renting it from the runway now.
What?
Oh, wow.
Have you guys heard of Rent the Runway?
Yes.
I think my sister uses that.
Yeah, I don't go shopping anymore. I just rent stuff for like a week or like 2 weeks at a time.
That's awesome, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I love shopping.
Yeah, that's my problem. I love shopping.
I hate it.
Really?
I hate it. Yeah, I hate going to the mall. I don't like online shopping. I don't like doing any of it. And then this stuff is stupid expensive. Guess how much this set is? The
The pants and the sweatshirt?
Yeah, guess how much somebody would pay?
$200.
$5.
Jesus.
Like, why would you stop spending $500?
Is this like Stella McCartney or
No,
something?
it's called Pam and Jella.
Who the hell is Pam and Jella?
Okay, it's
Sounds like
really comfortable.
salmonella.
It feels really good. Like, I slipped it on and I was like, ooh, it's
wow.
like silk. Like, it feels real good. But it's like, who spends that much money?
Yeah, dude.
So yeah, I'm really
crazy.
enjoying it.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
good for you.
Thanks.
Yeah,
You
I
should
go
do
through
it.
fashion a lot. My style changes a lot, so I feel like that would be good for me because I'm just constantly buying new stuff and donating the old stuff.
Yeah,
so.
it's good. It saves the planet. You know?
It's recycling clothing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, technically. I'm just wearing a sweater that my mom bought me at Uniqlo.
Ooh,
Nice. I love Uniqlo.
I chose not to wear makeup because we're getting real.
You
I actually hate
real.
wearing makeup when I don't have to.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I wish I had the confidence to just like not wear any. I think I'm getting there. My skin is like finally in a really good
Your skin
place.
looks great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do I have eyebrows on right now? Like, does it look like my eyebrows are?
I see brow.
Yeah, you see brow a little bit.
I see natural brow.
I hope you guys are able to see like a little bit of brow.
And you used to have eyelash extensions
I know.
all the time.
Yeah,
So,
now
same
I
with me.
don't.
Now I don't. I have falsies on today. But
You look great. Everyone looks great. You guys are
You
so
guys look
beautiful.
great.
You look great.
Your soul is beautiful.
I'm wearing a Smosh hoodie. Oh, guess what?
What?
This is that throwback hoodie.
Yeah.
It's back. If you guys want to get a Smosh.store, and there's also a couple other new items as well. We have a Tinder for hot dogs thing, another special white hoodie, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, so check those out. And we got our bottles. So what have you guys been up to? I mean, outside of this.
Renting the runway.
Personally, I've been working on like taking care of myself, and it feels really good. Like I haven't had like a workout routine that I've stuck to since I quit dancing, and it's been a long time. I feel like without knowing it, I was kind of like in like, I don't want to say depressive state because obviously I wasn't in a depression, but
It's like a slump.
yeah, I was definitely in a place where I was not happy for a long time with the lack of exercise, and I let it happen for like a few years.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's how long ago you stopped dancing?
Yeah, I stopped dancing 4 years ago. And I just kind of like let it go and go and go, and I was kind of like using what I had from before and kind of like, you know, almost like dipping into the savings of like what my like body can go through. And then from the start of this year, like I've just kind of like been like, you know what, it's time. And so it's felt really good.
Nice.
Thanks.
We're all, I think, gym freaks here a little bit. Or
I
athletes.
can't go more than 2 days without working out. Like I just like today I missed my workout class. I thought I set an alarm, but I didn't. And then I was just so bummed because, you know, I like to start my day like sweaty and awake. That's why I'm kind of like a little sleepy right now because I didn't get to work out this morning.
Get
And
that
I'm just like so
euphoria.
bummed.
Yeah.
I was so upset.
Dude, I remember when you first started taking those classes, and I remember like when you realized like I am addicted to this, and I'm gonna do this all the time.
Yeah.
It was like a couple years ago.
I don't love working out. Like, getting there sucks, but when I'm in it, I'm like super focused, and it's like I love it because it's a form of, because I used to dance my whole life, so it's like exercising was always a part of my life, and then when you stop dancing, you're like, oh, like this doesn't feel normal. Like I'm always moving. So it's like I have to get back into like using my body and working out.
When was the last time you did like a dance thing, a class or a show?
I actually had to take a ballet class a couple weeks ago because I had an audition for this show. And then so I was like, oh my God, I haven't done ballet in like 5 years. Or 6 years. So I was like, and they were looking for someone that like is really good at ballet. And I was like, oh. And then I was just like, I gotta like get back into it so I look at least like I'm a ballerina still, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that was me with track. I did track all like my whole like childhood into teens, and then in high school I stopped, and then I discovered the gym pretty early on as my replacement, but like I definitely had that slump where it's like, oof. And then even in random sporadic parts of this job, I like would stop for a long time. It definitely like keeps you sane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to get rid of my anger like a lot through that. I've talked about that on a previous episode, but it's such a good like mental refresh.
Oh, for sure. I think, do you guys remember when I had my bald spot in my head?
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
How is it? How long is it now?
It's completely gone. But I had like alopecia like right here. And so I was like, how am I gonna fix this? So then the doctor was like, yeah, like I think you're just stressed. So if you just go to the gym or you just relax yourself, do something to just, you know, keep your nerves down, like your hair will grow back. So I just started going to the gym more and like working out every day. It didn't really help my hair grow back. I had to actually go get shots. But so then I was like, oh, I love this. This is like another way to manage like my stress.
Nice.
That was so crazy. I remember like when we were in that old office and you showed us that, and we were like, oh my gosh, we were all like checking on it.
I know. I named her Wanda.
You're like a pigeon that's like, what do they call when they like start picking out their feathers because they're stressed out?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, except I wasn't picking at it. It just fell out.
I haven't had stress. I don't know how stress would affect me physically like that. Like, I don't know. What, have you ever had anything like?
I think for me, it used to come out with, I don't know. I kept so much stress in. Dancing was the source of my stress for most of my life until I stopped. And so I think I would just manifest it into like knots in my body, to be honest. And I think I was just so compacted with stress in my body. And so, yeah, like I've had a very, very intense love-hate with dancing my whole life. So, yeah, I think it would just come out in like stresses like in my body. Like I could almost feel like tension happening like when I get too close to it again.
Oh my gosh. Was it your choice when you started dance, or did your mom like put you in?
Oh, it wasn't my choice.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm a second generation dancer, if anyone knows. So I was put into dance when I was 2, but all I ever wanted to do was like kick stuff and like do karate. So
dance fighting.
Dance fighting, yeah. Intense dance fighting. But it was like the one track that I was put on, and then it became my job, and then it became okay for me to just kind of live that life until literally, and it's so weird because people say this all the time, but like literally like YouTube saved my life. Like it totally put it on a completely different track.
Starting with the Smosh audition, or?
Yeah.
Really?
Literally.
Wow.
Yeah. So to answer your question, I think it comes in like knots, and I start doing this with my shoulders, and like I get really like tense because I keep everything in. But over the past like, I would say like really like decade, I've gotten really much better with just like communicating. And once I stopped dancing completely, like I've just been able to like work on me and like mentally and all that stuff. So
do you ever get like massages for that?
I've been getting massages since I was about 13. I've been getting body work, going to chiropractors, therapy, PT, all of it since I was 13. And it was like no remedy because it was like internal. It was like an emotional thing that just like comes out into like your body.
Crazy how stress can like it
Yeah.
It just kind of manifests in like these
comes
really
out.
strange ways.
Emotional situations definitely like come out and act physically. Like I think acne is actually my stress. Like dude, the shutdown and when we were trying to film sketches and stuff, and even into the start when it's like we're all nervous and trying to get everything back in the grind again, like my skin was the worst, like literally worse than it was back in 2015 when I started. Like it was ugh. I literally in the scenes I was like acting or whatever, but in my mind I'm like screaming. I'm like, no one look at me. Like I hate this. I hate that there's a close up on my face right now. And it was like it's just stress. I think a lot of it was stress.
And I get that because it's like a cycle because you think that everyone's looking at your face and literally no one's ever looking at your face. Like everyone doesn't care. You know what I mean?
They're all worried about themselves too.
Totally, totally. But in your mind, it's the loudest thing, and it feels like there's like a flashlight, like on like your pimples. Like I used to have really bad acne as well.
Me too.
And it feels so big in your head, and it feels so terrible. And then on the outside, it's like nothing. It's a weird.
Yeah, dude.
It's a weird thing you have to fight through.
Yeah, now that it's like finally clear, I'll be like looking in the mirror and I'm like, oh, I actually have like nice other features.
You look
that I
really
didn't
good.
realize.
I'm
Thank
noticing
you.
it from across this table, and I think your skin looks really great.
Thank
I haven't
you.
seen it look this clear in a while.
Yeah,
Sorry,
like
that didn't
months.
mean to be.
No,
but it
it's
literally
honest.
looks really good.
Thank you. I'm even wearing like a less coverage foundation now because like I don't have any like I'm working on scarring now. That's mostly it. But yeah, like it's like all I see, and I feel like I have like the plague. And if I feel like if people are like we're messing around, they like touch my face, I'm like, oh god, do you feel gross that you like accidentally touched? Like it was such a my god. But like now that it's gone, like I don't even think about it at all.
And that's
it's
so
nice.
crazy because that cycle continues too, where it's like you feel good from the inside, so then your skin responds to it.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest cycle.
It's wild.
It works together.
I see on your Instagram stories sometimes like when you get those wild facials, Olivia.
Yeah.
Those are fancy looking.
I used to get them more because when we were traveling to Sacramento a lot, we would be traveling and our makeup was so intense. We would just cake it on and it would be 12 hours and there'd be just more powder on my face. And we'd fly back and my skin would just look so bad. Like it's just like your skin, your pores are just clogged. And so I would go get these facials. Now I actually haven't gone in so long because I feel like I've been drinking more water and I'm just taking care of my skin more now.
Yes, taking care of ourselves.
Yes, self-care.
So I guess
baby.
back to your original question, and this is what we've been up to, self-care.
Self-care. Honestly, same. Like I am here a lot, but like self-care. Like my whole weekend previously was like I did laundry and stuff, but then all Sunday was just like gave my hair a treatment, my skin a treatment, just like a break.
Amazing.
It's cool that that's just like an overall conversation that's happening for both men and women these days, where it's like I love Queer Eye. Like I think that's such a great show, and like the message is wonderful because at the end of the day, it's like it's just about caring enough about yourself to give yourself the time to, you know, regardless if you're a woman, you're used to like having that sort of like mentality of like, oh, you know, you got to take care of your skin, blah, blah, blah. Like, I think a lot of men don't get that from a young age. I don't know. In some ways, like, society doesn't allow them to care for themselves. And so I think both men and women are, I don't know, just getting the time to talk about it.
Yeah.
And then people around them understand where it's like, oh, let's go out Friday night. You're like, you know what? I'm going to take care of myself. And instead of the culture that I think we grew up with, and so much so like in the 80s and the 90s where it's like, no, you're a loser if you don't go out, blah, blah, blah. People are so supportive of it now.
Yeah.
And I think that's so cool.
Yeah,
It's
when
just like
people
it's
are
like
like-
contagious. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, I see you doing this, and you're caring about yourself, and you're loving yourself, and I see that you're a much happier person. And then it's like, okay, then I'm gonna do that for me too. And it's like my friends, like this is like such a simple thing. Like my best friends, they all love taking baths. I cannot take a bath
Same.
because first of all it's hot and I start sweating and I get dizzy and I'm just like not relaxed. I'm so not relaxed when I'm taking a bath, and I see my friends like they come out of their bath and like, oh my god, I feel so good. And then so I was like, all right, I'm gonna buy some bath salts, and then I start taking these baths now. I took a bath last night and
You love it now?
I mean, I don't love it. I mean, I appreciate it. Like I feel so calm, and it's because
like
my friends
candles around
influenced
you?
me to like do self-care while I'm doing that. I have a hair mask, and then I come out of this whole experience feeling really confident about myself because I just loved myself.
Yeah,
do
you
know what I
spoiled
mean?
yourself just
yeah,
then.
and it's just like I walk around with this better positive energy and I don't feel insecure like because I'm taking care of myself.
Yeah, I just feel like I don't get clean like with the bath. I feel
Well,
like
you
I have
have
to
to
take a
shower
shower
afterwards.
also.
I
Yeah,
take a
and I
shower
feel like then that
afterwards.
like cancels
I feel
out
like you have to
the
shower before
relaxation.
and after.
Yeah,
Before too?
What if you
because
showered
otherwise
before?
You're just because you're before, and then because if you don't shower before, then you're sitting in your muck.
Well, I shower twice a day.
Shower twice a day. Cece
I
knows.
have to shower twice a day.
Okay, so what if you shower before, scrub everything so it's all clean, and then you can take the bath and not worry about it? Maybe.
No, but then your bathtub
but then
is dirty.
what if your bathtub's
But you
dirty?
were clean from the shower.
No.
Yeah, no, you need to.
I have to scrub my bathtub. You don't know what kind of gunk is in your bathtub.
I have a nice bathtub. I don't know what the material is, but like stuff doesn't really stick
but
to
still, it's a mental thing.
I don't know. Let's do a blue
Yeah.
light one. This is what's inside your tub.
it. But yeah, I feel like just the idea of a bath is great. Like you're just spoiling yourself.
Yeah.
Well, like even just a face mask for me, I'm just like, I did it.
Yeah, and then you're like, I'm so happy, and it just carries out through your day, and it's great.
It's nice because it's like self-care isn't so much about like, okay, I'm gonna look hot now.
Yeah.
Like it's like about feeling good. It's like it's
from
not,
the inside.
Yeah, self-care and self-love is like becoming this thing, and like now I don't feel like it's like, oh, I need to do this because it's gonna make me look pretty. It's like it literally is like a transformation inside too.
I gotta say, like, I feel like I don't see you every day, Courtney, but the energy that I feel from you now when I see you, you're so relaxed and calm and so happy, like from the inside, and it makes me really, really happy to see it. Like, it's just like, you just seem so, I don't know, I just feel like you're so content and so happy. I don't know what you've been doing, but it's working. Like, you look great, and
Thank you. Oh, God. I mean,
like, I'm like so, like, I'm just like, I just feel so happy for you, and it's just like your energy is so infectious, and I just like, I'm like, not that you were bad before.
Oh, it was terrible.
But no, you weren't. It's just like I just feel like you're so happy with yourself, and like that makes me happy, and I'm able to see it, and I just think it's great.
Thank you. I don't hear stuff like that very often, or maybe I don't really fully hear it when people say it to me, so it means a lot, and that feels good because I feel happier. I do.
Good, I can
It's
see
awesome.
it. I can feel it.
Cool.
I feel like it's kind of everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
I think a lot of it has to do with our like work situation.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and it's interesting because I'm sure the audience sees everything from the outside, and you know, we let people in as much as we want
Yeah.
and as much as like we can. And like before, it's like we were all working together. We love working with each other, and that was never like that was always the constant. It was just the environment that didn't breed happiness for us.
Yeah.
And now it's so different.
Yeah.
And it's coming out in so many different ways. I think it's really cool. I love seeing comments about our upcoming VidCon, and you know, being able to see things like we're doing stuff all together as one big family.
Our meet and greet is all of us. How
That's
crazy
amazing.
is
Yeah.
that?
And like I love that for like the audience members so that they don't have to use like two of their VidCon tickets for two separate
Yeah.
groups. Yeah. I love that we're able to do that because there isn't a corporate overlord being like, no, well, these are two different brands and how does that work for packaging? And
Yeah.
you know, all these words that don't matter at the end of the day.
Totally. I do have an anxiety of like, because you know, like some people come up and they want to hug all of us, and like I love that, but like the people who work VidCon are like, just one
Yeah.
hug, move it along, please. And we're like,
I hope not. I feel like we gotta not.
Yeah.
You know, we
I don't
gotta
like
hug
worrying about
everyone.
it.
Yeah.
We have to hug everyone.
Yeah.
I would.
it's nice to give like the moment a moment.
This is Ian here for Hims, which is a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, sexual wellness for men. So why would Courtney read this ad? That would be weird. One of the big things that Hims does over there is they have things to help men from losing their head hair, which as the years go on, I notice it's thinning a little bit. It's got me a little worried. So thankfully, there's the wonderful people over at Hims that are helping people like myself. Because I'm pretty sure I got kind of a wacky looking dome. According to Hims, 66% of men lose their hair by age 35. So I got 4 years to go. And then it's going to be just bad news bears. Hims connects you with real doctors and medical grade solutions to treat hair loss. They have well-known generic equivalents to some of the name brand prescriptions to help keep your hair. There's no waiting room, no awkward person visits, which is the reason why I never get anything taken care of, because I just don't like that face-to-face interaction. Like, if I could just press a button on a computer, I will choose to do that every single time. It's super easy. If you guys act right now, my listeners can get a trial month of Hims for just $5 today, right now, while supplies last. If that all sounds good to you and you want to keep your hair like I do, all you gotta do is go to forhims.com/man. That's forhims.com/man. Thank you, and back to somebody who is much more attractive than I am.
I don't know if people know this, but Olivia, like, is this weird to say that how you've never slept at VidCon?
No, it's not weird to say.
Still?
She's never stayed at the hotel.
Never stayed at the hotel. I'm just like not a big fan of sleeping on not my bed. You know what I'm saying? Like I rather be, because everyone parties after the day. Like everyone goes to parties. I'd rather be very sober and drive back and live my life. I'm very like about, like I love to stick to like my schedule. I love to like, I wake up, I do a certain routine, you know, I work out, I walk to Starbucks. Like, I just have this routine down, and I just don't like it when it's like, and I seem like such a person, you know, but like.
I've never thought that.
I just love to be comfortable in my space. Like, I turn on my humidifier, I like get to sleep next to Sam, we watch TV, like, and I think this year I might sleep with you, if you know.
If things go well.
If things go well.
Wait, what's different? There's got to be something different that this year you're like, okay, I feel...
Okay, this year, since I'm literally coming back from Italy the day before. Ooh. So I might be really tired to even drive back, so I'll probably just crash.
At least one of the nights.
Yeah.
Safety first.
Yeah, and...
You're going to be so jet lagged?
No, I don't believe in jet lag.
Okay.
Okay,
we'll see.
It's my brain.
VidCon 2019. We'll see how
okay, I'll update you guys. But the thing is, I don't believe in jet lag because I can sleep anytime, anywhere.
True.
Like,
do it right now.
I could. Do you know me?
Her eyes. She was just sitting here with her eyes closed minutes ago.
I can fall asleep anytime.
Yeah, Courtney's like, Olivia, are you meditating? She's like, no, I'm just sleeping.
So, you might get me around.
Wow, a summer party. First sleepover.
Yeah.
Sincerely sleepover. I never thought it was like a
It's because I don't like you guys.
Diva thing. Yeah,
I know. Could be. And I'm down to just own, like, I have certain things in like that I like to be comfortable with, like, you know.
Do you get your own hotel room when you go?
Now
you shared
now
with Bose
I
a couple years.
Last year I shared with Bose, but then up until then I always shared with Sohinki.
What?
Yeah, I never got my own hotel rooms.
You shared with a guy?
Yeah, but I had to do that in ballet as well. There was
just
a number
seemed
of
unheard
times.
of. Unheard of for
no
for Smosh.
for since the beginning of like SG tours and stuff, and like we did a lot of like overnight stays like everywhere just for like
I guess,
game
cabins.
Yeah,
and stuff winter games.
Yeah, so my roomie was always Sohinki.
Wow.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cute. He seems like a clean guy.
I've been to his place. Like he keeps
You're
it
really
pretty
clean.
tidy.
So I don't
tidy.
care.
Yeah.
He's super tidy. I used to stay at Wes and Joven's house when I wasn't living in LA yet, but I would come down every week to work with SG, and they're not very clean. So I was like, okay, I don't want either of them to be my roomies.
I lived there too.
Yeah.
I lived with Wes for like a year.
You know, things stack up in the dishwasher, and then it's just disgusting.
Gross.
And so I was like, I don't want those two. Lasercorn would set me like on fire in the middle of the night because he'd think that it's funny. So yeah, so thank you.
What? He pranked you?
Wait, hold up. He set you on fire?
No, I just feel like he's
Are you a
insane.
witch?
I just can't trust the man. I'm not the witch. He's the witch. He's insane.
Oh my god, dude. I low key Olivia with the whole hotel thing. Like I find it's been great having two beds.
Yeah,
just choosing
you
which one I
bring
can
some
sleep.
boys home.
And have them sleep in the other bed.
Yeah.
While I sleep in mine.
Yeah.
I need my space.
I
but
remember
like
people
you.
were like using that bed like because I wasn't occupying it.
I would use both beds. I was gonna talk about something else. It's probably
Wait, what?
I had a boyfriend one year.
Oh, so you guys would sleep separately?
Yeah,
Cool. That's really hot.
I'm a 50s TV show.
They had their like night sacks, and they tie it up so make sure that there's no hands out.
But yeah, no, I definitely a couple years would be like, which bed should I sleep in tonight? The one I already slept in, or the one that's crisp and fresh?
Yeah, Pete and I like to do a thing where we call one the staging bed. So it's like you get to like nap in it when you're still like in your like regular clothes, or like
Staging.
sit on it when you're like have like dirty clothes on or whatever, and then the clean bed after you've showered.
But that bed is actually not that clean. Like hotel beds are very dirty.
Oh no, let's not get into this. Please don't. I stay in a lot of hotels a lot of the
it's really
time.
bad.
Dude, I will say,
It's bad.
Olivia has made me so overly conscious of bacteria. Like
Oh
since
my
I
God,
started.
you have to
No.
wet wipe everything.
Yeah.
Stop. No, I eat stuff off the ground and I'm very happy
Yeah.
with it. I just need to keep doing that.
I know, like,
The f-
notice certain parts of like a business establishment, and I'll be like, I wonder how long it's been since someone like wiped that, because probably nobody thinks about that little handle right there.
Oh, I have not done 5-finger palm grab on any knob in years. It's not how I operate my life. Every time I see a knob or a handle, it's like 2 little fingers. I haven't done the full palm in a long time.
Wow, you would be horrified with me because like
You
I'll
just
go.
touch everything. You're like, ah!
Yeah, I'll go through like security at like an airport, use like the bins and whatever, like put my shoes back on, whatever, and then go eat like a sandwich and
I'm
not
that bitch
like.
that's holding the trays like this. And I'm just like,
I think I haven't
not.
gotten
You use your
sick in like over at least a year and a half. I haven't had a cold
Knocked on wood.
knock on wood.
because I'm gross.
Dude.
I haven't gotten a cold because I'm clean.
Olivia has
I showered
acrylic nails.
twice. Even
just
when
to
I'm,
hold
you know
stuff.
how I step on the floor, like my toes are like.
Oh my
this.
god, yeah, and that try not to laugh gauntlet. She comes out barefoot, and like it's incredible how little of her feet are on the ground. Like she was almost hovering. She
And the
was
other
so
day we were
scared.
shooting something. I was wearing Courtney's heels with my bare like feet in it. I took it out, and she saw me wiping it down with Clorox. And I was like, oh, no, it's not you. My feet. It's not your shoes that are dirty. It's like my feet touch the floor. But honestly, it was because I was stepping in your shoes.
It's fine. Those Calvin Kleins are not the cleanest heels. Those are
I
my
feel
set
like
heels.
we should do like a vlog of like reversing each other. Like you have to do all the things that I do. And
You would be lucky. I would be in the. I would get the flu
horrified.
immediately. I would
Yeah.
literally have strep throat.
Yeah,
my
you've been
gosh.
sheltering yourself from building immunities.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm like harboring a lot. I'm like a petri dish.
can't even look at
in
you
your
right now.
biology class in senior year.
All I do, like, even my friends, like, I like love to take a lot of vitamin C.
I don't take.
I take a lot of oregano oil. I took a shot last night. Not that I was getting sick, but I just love to do preventative work.
I feel like the hotel beds, because they use white sheets and white towels and everything, because they bleach it, so it should be pretty clean and like bacteria free, right?
Sure.
Unless you're not okay with bleach, and then in that case, it's all over your body.
I don't know. My body always itches when I'm sleeping. I also sleep naked, so
Nice.
I'm exposed to a lot of
Hot
germs.
tip: Olivia sleeps naked.
I sleep. Everyone knows. So when there's a fire, if anything happens, I'm gonna run out of the hallway naked.
But then your pajamas won't catch on fire because a lot of pajamas are actually like flammable materials.
That is why I
so
sleep
you should be
naked.
careful. I have like grown up like matching pajamas.
What?
now. I think it's so cute. They're from J. Crew.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like a 45-year-old woman. But I'm very proud of them because I was always in like t-shirts and boxers or whatever I can find. And then I think like maybe a year or two ago, I like Marie Kondo'd my closet. And then I was like, you know what? I think I deserve matching pajama sets.
That's
And
good.
so-
That's very good for you.
Is it?
No, it's actually bad.
You sleep naked. You hate
yeah, well,
clothes.
that's because I get woken up in the middle of the night with a wedgie. So I like to prevent that from happening during my slumber.
Makes sense. I do.
Yeah.
I usually do t-shirt, like not real pajamas, like t-shirt, boy underwear, not like boxers or.
Yeah, it gets in the way. It's just
I can't do anything tight though. Like underwear. Like, you know, like it's always like really cute and like I don't know. I guess like photos or like stuff you see in movies or whatnot when they're like, oh, a little underwear and a little t-shirt. Underwear is like you wear it all day. I can't wear it at night too. Like it's
Yeah.
just too tight all the time.
Yeah. I've definitely wanted to get like a little silk pajama set.
That's
Ooh.
so like cute.
Was that real?
I mean, I save a lot of money,
Yeah, you do.
so
Save
why.
money. Be naked.
be naked.
Save the planet, be naked.
But on that VidCon tip, what was Mari? I remember hearing like your first VidCon was like kind of crazy, like because you were like you were with Ian and Anthony for most of it, and it was like a whole. 'cause
Yeah.
You were new still. Like, what was that like?
It was, I think maybe a year into Smosh Pit Weekly was the first VidCon I went with them. And it was like still really like not organized. Like we don't have like these like really, really like set schedules and stuff. And so they had a signing and meet and greet. And it was literally just a table and people would line up. And it was like, they're like, oh, Mari, do you want to sit with us? And I was like, okay. And so I just kind of sat there and like I think like maybe like one out of like every like 10 fans were excited to see me. Maybe that. And they're like, oh, you're the girl. But it was really, really sweet. Like I still have artwork from that first year that people like were nice enough to hand me. And yeah, it was still like a very new thing. It was so like pure because like I don't know, unless you were really into like the YouTube industry, like you didn't really know what VidCon was. Like it wasn't just like this like household thing that people go to every single year. So it was still really interesting. And at that point, like I still didn't see this as like my career. Like my dancing was my career. This was like an offshoot thing where like, oh, I did this like on like one weekend, like, and it was just a thing. So I was still in 100% denial that this could be what I do for, you know, a lengthy amount of my time.
And there was no Smosh games yet?
No Smosh games yet.
Whoa. And so that's crazy to me because when you started, like, it was like in sketches and stuff, and then I came in, it was like sketches, and then still also group stuff. You came on, it was just you in your videos. Like, that's a big step.
It was a lot of trust, too. It was a lot of trust from Ian and Anthony and Ryan, just being like, this is the type of show we want, go make it. And them full well knowing that I had never edited, never produced, never, you know, like spoken in front of a camera. I never did anything for comedy, nor have I ever written scripts before. And they gave me full, like, creative and just full trust.
Yeah.
You know, I learned really, really quick. I did a lot of, like, YouTube tutorials of, like, how to edit on Final Cut Pro. And it was a crazy learning curve, but I absolutely loved every single second of it, even though I had a breakdown every Saturday.
Oh, love that.
Mari, you're a very, like, competent, capable person. Like, you are so good at everything you do.
It comes from insecurity, though. Really? Yeah, for sure. It comes from insecurity and fear of, like, not being competent. And so, like, for better or for worse, that is the thing that has fueled me. Like, now I can understand where it comes from, and I can, like, balance it out of, like, whether things are healthy or not. But, like, for a very long time, I didn't understand that that's where it comes from, where it's like, Mari, we need a 50-page letter by tomorrow morning. And I say yes out of the fear of sounding like I can't do it.
Right. I think we do that a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like you're able to admit it, and I think a lot of people don't admit that, and I think it's awesome that you just did.
It's been a long time to understand it. It's like I think I still catch myself doing it where it's like, why do I have so many things on my plate?
Yep.
It's because I have a fear of saying no. And it's a fear of like rejection. Like if I say no too many times, people stop asking. And so I'm like, oh, I can't say no. So I have to say yes. And now I have like no time. And yeah.
I
feel
resonate so hard with that.
Yeah.
It hurts.
I think like as a female, like you also feel like for me personally,
We can do it.
Yeah, it's like for me personally, I feel like I have like, first of all, I just want to always say yes because I feel like if I don't, I'll just seem rude or like mean or something. And then I also just want to prove to that person that's asking me to do something that I can do it, you know?
Yeah.
And I think like I need to trust that I just have to do things that make me fulfilled. And like I have nothing to prove to anyone. And I think that's something that I'm still struggling with and just like trying to do, you know, like, I don't know. I struggle with all the time. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I get a script for this and I'm like, I don't really like it. And it's like, I can also say no, I don't need to do it. I don't need to do everything.
Yeah.
You know, and like taking that pressure off of myself.
I think women grow up with this chip on our shoulders, and it's like it comes from so many different things. But I feel like somehow society has continuously have had us grow up with the thought that we're expendable. Like, oh, you can't do it? I'll find someone else who
Exactly.
can. And it's like, you know, you and I came up with a dancing background, and it's very much like that. It's like, oh, you can't handle this part? There's a girl who has the exact same body shape as you, who has the same skill, who we can replace in a second. You are absolutely replaceable. And in a lot of ways, like, I think we grow up with that mentality. And, you know, sometimes, like, schools reinforce that, workplaces reinforce that, and it's important to understand what reinforces that in your life and why.
It's just, and to be honest, I felt very replaceable, and when we were at Defy, it felt like I was,
They
like,
told us that.
Yeah, they literally told us we can replace you easily, and that made me feel like I wasn't valuable, and that type of enforcement just makes you feel like you're not important, you know? And it's just like, even though no one's saying that to you, like, oh, you're not important, but then inside, we're sensitive people, and I think that, like, I would think that, I'm like, okay, so I don't feel special in this position at all. Like, I feel like you can call another person in and just take my spot.
Yeah.
And this just made me feel insecure and, like, very lost, you know?
Ian had talked about this one guy at Defy who, like, it felt very weird what his job position was. I remember having lunch with him one day. It was, like, in the new year of 2018. And it was, like, I think he was just trying to, like, get prepared for, like, possibly renewing contracts a few months later. And he was like, yeah, like, so how do you feel? And I was like, you know, like, things feel kind of strange lately. Like, there's been layoffs. And you know, like, I'm starting to really, like, feel, like, the mortality of this job. And he was like, well, you know, you should. And, like, it's so weird, like, as a human being, just being, like, having that rug ripped under you. Because, like, okay, so then is what I'm doing meaningless to you? Because I don't feel like it was. Like, I think a lot of times it's, like, a form of power to make someone feel like they're replaceable.
For sure.
And it's, like, in relationships even, it's, like, manipulative because it's like, I know I'm working my ass off and you're saying you could still easily replace me. And it's like, I sometimes, like, don't believe that person. I don't believe that.
It's like straight up like Stockholm syndrome is what we were going through, where it's like we love being with each other so much that we take the abuse from people who aren't even in the room with us ever, who never step foot in our office, but who have the power to tell us, like, oh, we're going to start phasing you out, which is what they started telling me. And I was like, cool.
They actually said that to you?
Yup. And I'm like, cool. The thing that I've been working on is not really ours. Cool.
When did that happen? Was it phasing out when they stopped Smosh Pit Weekly, or was it later on in, like, just games stuff?
It was games stuff. So it was basically like, oh, a little less, like, you know, in a more timely fashion of like, oh, people won't notice sort of thing.
Ugh.
And it's like, it's weird because it started to feel so far away from what we had all, you know, put so much time and effort into. And it's, I don't know. It's incredible how we've been able to scoop up everything and then, like, start over and like start, like, building this, like, mashed potato of, like, fun stuff and all the good stuff. You know, and I think it's incredible that all the good stuff remained out of all that.
And I think this person that you're mentioning also told me that he would compare my work to another person's work within the company. And it's like, you should do it like this person because you should follow in this person's footsteps. I'm like, well, this person's journey and their life is completely different than mine. Like, we're not the same person, and I don't like that type of authority, especially from someone who has not lived my life, who does not look like me, tell me how I should carry out my career and journey just because this other female did it right and he approved the way she did it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just like, I remember hearing that. I'm like, I'm sorry that I'm not doing something the way you envisioned my career to be like. And I'm like, but at the same time, I shouldn't feel apologetic about that because the thing is, like, we're instilled, like, this competitiveness, especially amongst, like, women. It's like you compare
biological.
Yeah, and it's like I don't need someone to compare me to someone because I already feel a lot of insecurities within myself, you know? So it's like, I remember feeling pretty down and I'm like, why am I letting this person affect me, you know? And it's like, we can all help each other and like, great, I admire the way you came up. I admire the way you do your thing. Like, and I should also admire the way that I'm handling whatever I'm doing. So
that's so rough. That's like hearing a parent being like, why can't you be more like your sister?
Exactly.
And it's because I'm not my sister.
And it's like, would I ever say that to another person? Like, hey, you should do this like this person. It's like, I thought, you know, we're all individuals. We do our own thing. And it's,
There's just so much more constructive ways of doing any kind of criticism for someone.
I think it's going back to like competition. I think one of the coolest moments that I had in my life, and it came late. It came really, really late in my life, is just realizing that there's so much abundance everywhere. And honestly, like Pam was like she is the person that opened that up for me and like really like melted so many of like my walls, because I realized that, you know, there's no reason to like, I don't know, see other people as competition. Like, it's just such a small, like, way of seeing things. But in our adolescence and when we're growing up, it's like when the pool is so small, you feel that. Like, like, there's only one really cute boy in the 6th grade class or whatever. And it's like those things that are, like, biologically, like, inherent in us, like, come out in the worst ways. I think in adulthood, I've realized, like, there's so much to go around, and especially now in an era where we're creating our own jobs and like making up things that we can do and like how to work with the people we want to work with. Like, in that world, there is so much abundance. There's no reason to be like, that should have been mine. That shouldn't have been that person's.
Yeah. I think that for me, one of my biggest hurdles that I need to get through is because I grew up, you know, doing ballet, always in competitions. It's being competitive with other classmates in your class, and it's just like instilled in me that it's like I have to be really good, but that at the same time, I'm still dealing with that now. It's just like there is a lot to go around, and I think people are creating their own jobs, and like I'm always so hard on myself. No, you're not doing enough. You're not trying hard enough. And then, like, that's something that I struggle with daily. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I have to wake up, do this thing, because I have to feel like my schedule is so jam-packed that I'm being productive.
Yeah, like, you can always be better.
Yeah.
That like, I was just dealing with that this morning. We were, like, recording. We have a song that we're recording. We're going to be filming. I'm really excited with that with you guys. But, like, it's one of those things that I especially felt where it's like I could have done that better. I could have done more with this today. I could have done more yesterday. Like, it's just constantly, like, needing to be more than what you are, which sucks. Like, I mean, and then it's like I don't want to give that up either, because I don't want to be lazy and not be thinking about how I could be better. Like, I don't want to just be like, I'm fine where I am. I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you want to be happy and sure of yourself.
Us working in, you know, social media as public figures and stuff like that, we're also surrounded by other public figures. And we're now, you know, before it's like you didn't have social media to update you on your friends' successes or other people's, how they look. And now you can see in an instant. It's like, oh, this person's doing this. Oh my God, wow. And look at me, I'm not doing this. Or like, this person looks like this and I still look like this. And it's like, now you get to see it instantly. For me, it gets overwhelming sometimes, but I have to remember, it's like, I'm staying true to who I am. I'm not going to let other things affect me. Like, this is, I want to live my life as a very authentic person, but it's hard because there's all these outside sources that come into play.
Yeah, now we have, like, other perspectives. It's like when you don't know any different, when you're just doing your life.
Yeah.
That's one thing. But since we're seeing hundreds of people's different, more successful or less successful lives, it's... Yeah, you can't help but compare yourself. I mean, even when we first came on, we were compared to Ian and Anthony, and, like, why it sucked that we were there at first. Like, I don't know how much hate you got when you first started, but, like, it was, like, a year or two before people were, like, really down for us. Like, was it rough at all? Like,
I heard she had the roughest, like...
That's right. You were, like, the first, so it makes sense.
It was weird because it was always Ian and Anthony, and so having another person, and especially it being another girl, was like a double whammy.
Who was Asian?
It played into really easy jokes and really easy like pokes for like Asian people. But it was so much of it was like, oh, how did you get on the channel? Which guy are you sleeping with, Ian or Anthony?
Yep.
And it very much becomes this play of like, oh, the only reason why a woman can succeed in anything is if she's sleeping with somebody. And that became a very relevant sort of piece of conversation. And, I'm on the outside and we're all on the outside enough. And, we were all in our respective relationships that like it was such a comfortable thing to look at from the outside. I saw it as something really interesting to see as where it was just like, man, sexism happens on both ends. It's not just men or women saying it. It's like, it's both saying this, where it's like the only reason why I'm on here is it had to have been that. And so, yeah, I would say that my dislike to like ratio was about 55 to 60% for, I don't know, how long, Ryan? Like a year and a half?
Wow, dude.
Every Saturday. And this was when like you could still see like the green bar to the red bar. Yeah, it was 50-50.
Wow.
But, I think in a lot of ways, like I was able to create a bubble around me and see it just from like the aspect of like why people would see me as that. I was a threat. I was a threat on their like, their teen idols of like Ian and Anthony, the perfect boys, like, and I remember being like that with like NSYNC, like when like Britney Spears started dating Justin, I was like, oh my God, there goes my chance. What a bitch. I hate her. That could have been my guy. And I remember that mentality of it being so real to me that when I saw that and they're like, oh, now she's going to take them away. I'm like, I understand where you're coming from. It's not that, but I hope, I can earn you with merit.
Guys, I want to take a quick break from our Girl Talk to let you know we have this sponsor this week, which is ZipRecruiter. What if you had your own personal job recruiter to help you find a better job? Now, ZipRecruiter's technology can do that for you. Just download the ZipRecruiter job search app, let it know what kind of jobs you're interested in, and its technology starts doing the work. The ZipRecruiter app finds jobs you'll like and puts your profile in front of the employers who may be looking for someone like you. If an employer likes your profile, ZipRecruiter lets you know, so if you're interested in the job, you can apply. My listeners should download the free ZipRecruiter job search app today and let the power of technology work for you. Don't wait. The sooner you download the free ZipRecruiter job search app, the sooner it can help you find a better job. I wish this existed when I was looking for my job in film. When I decided to stop working at the pharmacy, I was Googling job opportunities for hours. Like, I really wish I had this because it would have saved me a lot of time. I remember when we had our first episode of Seriously Super Stupid Sleepover come out. We were like, cool, it's out. And I had no idea that that was being uploaded in place of Smosh Pit Weekly. Like, I didn't know that there was I was like, what? I was like, oh, this is replacing something. I had no idea. And, like, I didn't know you, like, at all at that point. And, like, so the fans were really upset, like, at first.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember.
It's such a different, strange show.
And it's so weird that they create that competition as if, like, you guys took my spot. Like, it wasn't that. Like, the show was coming to an end. And
I had no idea until I read the comments. And I was like, oh.
Same.
And then you're like, ugh, now I'm feeling really bad that it's like we did wrong by you. Like
we had no idea.
Yeah. And it's not that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I always have to put myself in the position of fans. And it's like, by them saying that to you guys, they're defending me like they have some sort of like, you know, like pressure to like, I don't know, defend me in some way.
Yeah, it's like how the tables have turned.
Yeah, it's crazy how that just like, it repeats itself.
Yeah. But it's also like, why start you know?
Oh, totally. They're like, and then the first Summer Games was like pretty quickly after that, I think.
Was it really? That came real fast.
Yeah, I mean, I was brought on early April, and Summer Games was on my birthday that year, and I think we did like the shoot. I don't know how the timing lined up, but like,
what was that like for you guys?
I feel like I came in hot. Like I came in and they were like, "Oh, make vines," and
yeah,
and we did all that stuff. And like you, Olivia, you and Keith and Noah, like were just coming out of this like slump because they hired you guys, and then you were just like Tell me like that.
Yeah, well, nobody really told us like our job title.
Oh, I remember that.
And it was like, for me, I was very confused. I thought I was brought on to be an actor. Didn't know I was brought on to be also a personality. I didn't even think, I was so confused, but I was doing this with two other people who were just as confused. So we were just like trying, like nobody was really talking to us unless we were needed. So it was very confusing. I wish there was someone who told us, hey, this is what it is, and like, you know, this is what you're required to do.
Because I remember you guys would spend like 8 hours at the office.
Yeah, doing nothing.
Yeah.
Just watching like old Smosh sketches and getting to know each other. But yeah, it was really interesting. And then when you guys came in, you had this burst of energy, and we were just like, we've been doing this for like 3 months, and we're kind of just like, we're not sure what we're doing.
Yeah, you guys were contractually told to pretty much just stare at a wall 8 hours a day. And then when they come in and all of a sudden they're doing personality content and having us do vines and all this crazy stuff.
And we had to immediately gel. Like, we had to immediately become these best friends.
Mm-hmm.
And that was so odd because there was no like training program. It's like, you got to do this.
Yeah, we had
and
a
be
lunch.
friends. And we had one lunch. And we're like, all right, so, I mean, I knew Courtney and Shane knew Noah, and it was just so weird. And it's like you had to turn it on. And I never understood what that really meant until I was like, there was this video where I looked like I was pissed, but I wasn't pissed.
You just didn't know. I remember this.
This is just who I am as a person. Like as a person, I'm not on. Like, I'm a very real, like,
chill.
I don't... It's not who I am. So, and then I realized, I quickly figured out that YouTube fans and people who watch YouTube want to see you very engaged and interested. And it wasn't that I wasn't engaged or interested. I thought this was me. Like, I'm just who I am. So, and then it's just like, okay, you really have to like be very interactive, you know, and like, so. But then we all became, I think we had like, you and I had a rough patch because I didn't know. I think it's like we knew each other as friends outside of work. So when you start working with a person, you really understand like, oh, this is how they work. It becomes, you see a different side of them that you're not used to seeing.
We were 4 feet away from each other 8 hours a day.
Yeah, and it was like, okay, so now we have to bond in a way that wasn't like how we were. It's like, oh, now we also have to somehow mesh together in a work environment. And I think it was and there were a lot of people, not a lot, maybe there was one person who would be in both of our ears or other people's ears talking about each other, like, oh, she said this about you, he said this about you, and it's just like perpetuating the competitiveness and the
yeah, dude, that's not
and it's just like, but I quickly understood. I was like, that's not how you're supposed, like, first of all, you shouldn't meddle between cast members who are supposed to be best friends, you know? Like, and I remember this was
that like one of the producers?
Yeah, it was really damaging. It was really damaging to have someone who was an authority figure go and start creating these allies and rivalries between each of us. And I don't know if I'm just being very honest about what happened. And like,
that's real. That particular person enjoyed stirring the pot.
Yeah.
That's so rough.
Because he I think he felt like it was making him closer to each of us.
Yes.
And it's just so easy to manipulate two girls who are now on this channel and have to be like good. And like, I know that I came in very hot and just like eager because it was like YouTube was my dream job, and like in a lot, and I like just like you, I wasn't told a lot of stuff, so like I didn't understand a lot of things, so I would act entitled towards certain things, like, so there was a lot like that made it hard to like mesh for sure.
Yeah, and I think it was because it was our first job. Like, none of us, we were all actors. Like, none of us were in this environment. So we really had to learn how to communicate with I don't know if Smosh Games was like that as well, but...
No, we just talk to each other.
Yeah, like
you guys are real. You guys are pretty good about that.
We were just so held back. Like, until we realized we were going to be with each other for the next 4 years, and we just had to, if we wanted to work together, like, we couldn't be selfish. Like, our goal had to be the same goal, and like, we had to really just bond and be open with each other, and like,
there was a priority.
Yeah, and I remember my ways of doing things shifted. Like, how I approached a problem shifted. It's like, okay, how are we going to make this productive? And like, how are we going to like each other and like be close without
I wonder if
hating
like
each other.
BTS goes through the same thing.
I don't know. It's hard. I'm sure. I don't know.
Let's
I feel
get a
like
K-pop band on here.
yeah. Let's talk about how they all mesh.
Oh my God, so many of them.
But now like we love each other, and literally it was probably like 6 months later we're all like, okay,
Yeah.
like I love you, like you're like my sibling,
Yeah.
like you know. It was just like the rocky first.
It's
Yeah.
growing pains. It's
literally
readjusting,
growing, yeah.
finding the equilibrium. And like Joe and Matt Robb originally were like summer games because it was cool content, but it was also they're like it's time for these people to like really like bond,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like games and sketch together, and that was really
like
fun.
really like the only 2 times that we got to come together, and they were like wonderful.
And that was
it was
Shane's
amazing.
first week. Was
Yeah.
the first summer games. He was the ref. He wasn't even on the
And like
teams.
when we were saying how things just repeat itself, I remember when Anthony left and Ian had to come back to the group and also gel with us and like understand and like try to see us at like a friend level, like as a person, you know. And that was also really interesting too, because it's like he was with Anthony and they had their thing, and then him coming and joining the squad dynamic, we also had growing pains with that. And like you and Shane were very like open and vocal and told him like I hate confrontation, so I just was like just listening. But you guys were also like hey, this is how we do things, and you guys made it a point to like include him and feel open to like discussing certain issues with him. And I thought that was really awesome too, because that's exactly what we did with the squad. So and now Ian, I see him as a friend and someone that I can be like, hey, that was rude what you said, you know. Like I couldn't, now I feel the liberty to be like, hey, that wasn't cool, and like that just brings us closer.
Dude, remember when we first started and like Ian and Anthony were like never in the building? It was like seeing, like nowadays, because Rhett and Link are so frickin' busy, we'll maybe see them pass by. Also, our office is like kind of not connected to theirs fully. But that's like how it was with Ian and Anthony. Like they'd maybe pop in and be like, hey, we'd be like, oh my God, hey, how are you? Okay,
Yeah.
bye.
Yeah.
And now it's like,
They were like Charlie.
Yeah.
Charlie's Angels.
yeah, it was too, hi, Charlie. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. They would come in like once every 2 weeks or something, huh?
Yeah, I mean, Smosh, the movie, was coming out in the beginning.
They were
and,
busy
like,
boys.
Yeah.
I think I remember Anthony like saying like we're basically as busy as a president. Like he
said that?
I don't know if he was joking, but he definitely said that.
Hilarious.
funny. Yeah. I think by then they were both off of games, so it was kind of expected that we didn't see them. But
Yeah, you guys were in the dark corner.
oh yeah, we were in the cave.
Yeah.
They shoved us in a cave because we were always too loud.
Oh yeah, you two had like a Slenderman.
Oh my
video.
God, do you
In the
remember
cave.
that?
Oh my God.
You were so nauseous.
I hate that. I'm like, everyone knows I like to not do that. What the hell was that? Like, I had to, like, why was I so dizzy? Would I have to wear anything on my eyes?
I don't think so. I think
I
it
was
was
watching the
I think
screen.
we were just playing.
Just a PC
and,
game.
And you know, like we normally record for like an hour, 15 hour and a half. I think you tapped out at like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
and I was like,
I
cool.
literally, first of all, the cave had no air.
Yeah.
It was so hot.
It was
and
all
I had to
dark.
play this game I've never played. Don't really know how to use those consoles, like those buttons. And I'm just like watching this. I'm like, I literally am about to throw up on Mari. I'm like, that is why I watch The Real Housewives and I don't watch Slender Man. I was like, oh God. I was like, ugh.
That was a very fond memory of mine. You were
Wow.
just like, oh, I can't
Dude, I did not
do
feel good.
it."
I was like, what am I doing? And then we were supposed to be talking to each other. I'm like, I can't even focus on one thing. Like, and I'm doing both.
You're so out of your element.
So out of my element. But I was like
Amazing.
confused. I'm like, all right, cool. Hate games. Only game I like is Rummy Cube.
What's Rummy Cube?
It's this really, it's like a board game for old women.
Yeah, that's not
Love
It's
that.
a very old game. It's about patterns and numbers. Love that game. Don't like games on a screen.
You don't have games on your phone?
Yeah, Instagram.
nice.
My
Wait,
favorite
that's
game,
it.
face tuning.
Facetune's a game for sure.
It is a game.
Are
With
you?
that said, now you're a video gamer now. I mean, you've always played games, but
Oh,
now
yeah.
you're like on the channel.
I've always loved video games, but yeah, this was crazy. I didn't realize how big of a deal the Sims show release was until like you started talking with me about it, because I was like, holy shit, like because did you ever have a show where it was just you?
Yes.
You did? Okay.
Original Mario Craft
Okay.
was Super Mario Fun Time.
It was just you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I was really scared. I was like, wait, is this the first, like, show that, like, is just a female host and nothing else? Because that just felt really to me to be, like, taking that from you because, like, I don't know, you didn't, there was no, like, handing off the lantern, or if that's a thing, torch.
I was really offended because nobody approached me to play Slender Man.
Oh my gosh, if we could just have like little bits of you playing Slenderman like for 20 minutes only at a time.
Just drool from the
But
nausea.
Sims is fun. I used to play Sims as a kid. That's like very
Sims
fun.
is the best. I played Sims too. One time I played it for like 12 hours straight. And
Yeah.
it was at my friend's house. She was like napping while I played.
Hilarious.
So it's very on brand. It's like it's the perfect show for me to if I were to have any show. I'm really excited. I'm super
It
embarrassed.
did so well. And I love it just as an audience member. Like I don't want to see any episodes in advance. I want to watch it as purely an audience member. Because I'm genuinely curious what happens. You didn't make any bathrooms for our crappy house? How come the games house sucks?
Because I didn't have enough time. Okay, so I had one day where I literally was on Sims 4 prepping for hours, and like Damien and Shane would come in and like hang out with me while I did it. And then I had, they were like, Matt Rob was like, oh, okay, and now make more, but like you only have like a couple hours to do it. And I was like, okay. So I didn't get to like make each room like on brand for you guys, and then I forgot a bathroom.
It's so good.
I also forgot to make Ian. Like an idiot.
People were so mad.
I made Matt, Rob, and Sarah, but I didn't make Ian.
Hilarious.
Like, I'm so stupid. Well, here's the thing. I when I first started playing Sims 4 in the office, because that was my first time playing it ever. I've played Sims 2 literally up until 6 months ago, and I was like, oh, okay, to practice and play a little bit, I'll make Ian. I'll see what building a house is like and whatever. And so I made him, and I thought he was already in the map. But it turns out I was like on like the Steam version, which is like a different platform where the game was. And they're like, okay, well, here's Sims.
So he has his own world.
He's in his own separate universe.
He's got his whole own world.
Yeah.
Maybe those two universes will collide one of these days.
End game. Yeah, so I think he needs to, I'll make him. I will.
I think, like the podcast, your show has a very different candor, and I think that's so cool. I love it. Because Smosh Games is always like group dynamics, like freaking crazy off the wall, people, talking at the same time, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah,
and podcast allows for you guys, everyone, all of us to have a very different tone. And I think your show does that too. And I love that. It's variety.
Yeah. Thank
We
you.
need that.
Thank you. I definitely, like, filming it felt so weird to me. Because, like, literally no one was in the room except for Brennan, our camera, like, operations guy. And that was so strange to me. Like, even having him, just him in the back, I was like, thank God. Because, like, I am so used to bouncing off of someone in these videos. So, like, it felt so weird to be just me in the center of attention. Like, I still don't know how I feel about it. Like, even hosting podcasts, like, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about being, like, leading on something. It feels
doing
very
great.
strange.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
It's all like part of the glow up, and it's like it's such a weird play on, like, we've gone through our lives this far and we're still insecure. Like, we still get insecure all the time. And I think that's
insecure
something
I have no eyebrows on.
Dude, you look great.
Oh, thank you.
I think it's important that everyone knows that it happens. Insecurity is just, we hide it well. We hide it well on social media.
Yes.
And it's I think that something that we're all really conscious about, but we also still really struggle about. I think when an audience sees just our social, like, it's important to continuously have that conversation of like all the glamorous, like, crazy things. That's not us 24/7. Like,
That is me 24/7.
I believe that,
I'm gonna be in
No.
Italy, so
I'm gonna be in Italy very
I need my
soon.
humidifier.
I need my humidifier. No, it's like a version. Everything is always a version, Like the version of me going to Trader Joe's is not really the version of me going at home.
Yeah. That's
Just
the
kidding.
thing.
I'm literally the same way. I'm just saying, like, it's everything you see on social media is literally 10% of the whole person.
I think that's probably why we feel all insecure about being better in our lives is because we're seeing the social media versions of other people's lives.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, I'm supposed to have that great of a life too. when it's
Like, I see Courtney drinking smoothies after her workout. That's all I think she does. But she is literally more than that.
Yeah, I could be taking those flexing mirror photos and stuff. People wouldn't know I go to the gym if I didn't post even just those smoothie photos. That's the thing. Like, unless you're like shoving it in people's faces, the people watching really don't know anything other than what you put out there. It's crazy how much like we think we know people, and now people are on YouTube sharing way too much.
Yeah.
And it's now like becoming like now it's expected sometimes. It's scary.
It's like as a fan, I expect you to be very open about these things, and like, you know, and it's like sometimes I just am at the Chick-fil-A drive-thru crying. Okay.
We all need those moments. We all
and
need
you
our
won't
private
see that
moments.
part because it's the
It's weird to film yourself crying. Like,
yeah, so weird.
Don't forget to sigh before you do, though.
yeah. I love that video. The girl who's just crying and doing selfies. Like,
I had a thought and I forgot what it was.
what the Mari?
You better remember, dude.
It was your face that I was like,
Took it away?
Well, no, I was fully focused on it. I was like, that's really funny.
Sometimes I just want to like put out a funny sketch and for the viewers to be like, haha, and then just like move on. And that's the exchange. Not like, I need to know every bad thing you've ever done.
Or sometimes it's like I look at my stories and everything I posted was me in bed, but they forget that 90% of my day was spent outside running errands, doing all of this. But they're like, oh, she's probably just, her life must be this way. She must be a lazy if she's just in bed all day, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, oh no, that was just me, like, for...
It's that like iceberg analogy, right? Like you see like the iceberg above water, but then there's like a lot underneath.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, the way that we do broadcast our lives, people think that that's the full package.
Yeah.
And I can understand why someone would think that, because I think that of other people, you know? And it's like, it's important to just keep having the conversation that it's not.
I just
There's a
have to
lot
find
more.
like an equilibrium that what I show other people is interesting, but then my life as myself is also very abundant and interesting, and not the what people see isn't everything. I have to be really solid myself and be confident that's one of the things is that am I the same without all the exterior stuff added onto me? Like, do I think I'm valuable in my eyes without being a member of Smosh, having beautiful hair? I'm just kidding. You know, it's like guys, you know.
Yeah.
But
I like the other week, I went on a hike with my friend, and like it was really nice. It was like awesome view. It was where that top of the world where there was a piano. As we were leaving, our friend was like, "Do you want me to take a picture of you or anything?" And like, there's definitely times where you're somewhere beautiful and you're doing something special and not common that you do in your life. But in those moments, I'm just like, no, I think I want this one for me.
Yeah.
And that like makes it feel more special. Like nobody else knows that I had this amazing day.
For sure.
Yeah.
I feel like that a lot with like conversations where it's just like, oh, that would have been a great podcast, but it's also really nice to just have like a sit down lunch with someone you really like enjoy or admire.
Yeah.
And just talk.
Yeah,
Just
not be on my
real
phone.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to check myself all the time with that stuff too. I'm just like,
Checking your phone?
well, yeah, or just like sometimes I'll be in a very like great conversation and then the side of I'm like, I did not check my phone once. I'm like, I'm really happy that I didn't. Like, I'm back to just I'm so connected with this person, and that's like
It's like the
important.
epitome of sunset photos on Instagram. It's like you see something beautiful or something's happening and you feel like you instantly need to document it and show that it happened, otherwise it didn't. And it's like people should not live their lives that way. Like it's
Sunset happens every day.
sunset literally happens every day. Many
days.
times a day, technically, because it's around the world constantly happening. But
Constantly
like,
happening.
Constantly sunsetting, constantly being photographed, constantly being liked on Instagram.
I mean, it's a weird tie to like mortality though, right? Like it all comes from the fear of dying. Like we want proof of something happening so that we can like at the end of the day be like, I did that, and then 10 years later be like, that happened and I have proof of it and there's something tangible. But you know, I mean,
I have the best
don't
days
know.
when it's not documented on my Instagram.
that's really cool.
Yeah. A
That's
lot of
really
my-
beautiful to know.
Yeah. But not saying that what I'm showing you guys isn't like a best day. Like the one thing is like if I'm showing how happy I am, I better be f***ing happy myself inside. You know, it's like if I'm faking it, I just feel like a really bad person inside. Like I just feel icky that I'm faking my happiness to people. It's not authentic because I look at people and they're faking it. I just lose my trust in them. You know, I'm just like, you're just not real. You know, and I just want to.
With documenting stuff, like you said, Mari, there was a weird thing that I went through with when we did my diary videos, where we like read my middle school diaries. I now am like doing a diary again, like just keeping a journal because I think it's that same thing. I want to document these things. And it was actually really nice because like when I am combing through those diaries and not cringing my ass off, there's like a lot that I'm like, wow, I did that. Or like, wow, it's crazy that I had this mentality at this specific time. And it's like actually really cool to be able to have that documented to look back on for myself.
Yeah.
And it's private. It's for me. And so that's why I started doing the journal again. We're never making videos on these ones. But
Who knows? You'll be 60 years old and it's like, okay, let's go through Courtney's.
Oh, no.
Because our videos that we shoot of each other when we're on set and we're not, you know, we're like, I love that. And the stories of us just having fun, you and I rap battling, like I love that because then that's a memory and I do it because I'm like so happy in the moment with you guys doing that. It's that's like really real to me. Like, and I get to say, and I watch those videos, like ones in Sacramento, like I'll watch us goofing off.
Yeah, dude. It's Sacramento days. But like, that's so true. Like, if Keith gets a funny snap of me, or I guess I call it snap, but it's Instagram, I'd tell him to save it and send it to me.
Yeah,
I won't even post it. I just want it.
Me too.
Yeah.
It'll go away.
Well, it's this weird like tangibility of like needing digital
Proof.
Yeah, proof that things happened. We're just changing as humans. I don't think it's anything like terrible or daunting. It's just like it's just important to know that we are changing as humans, like what we need in order to feel like our life is you know, it's being lived and there's some sort of memory that goes along with it that's not just stuffed in our brains.
Yeah. And it's good to, like, have things that remind you of those good memories. Because it's, like, because sometimes you'll have a day, like, I'll be like, man, like, I'm so not happy. Like, why does it feel like nothing is good right now? But then you, like, I can see, like, literally yesterday I was dancing with Keith. And you're like, there are good things that I have. And it,
Perspective
like,
change.
you.
Yeah.
And, like, who you are a year ago is not going to be the person you are today.
That's
like,
facts.
that journey's good. That
So
journey's
since
good to know.
I'm a Gemini and I'm constantly changing, so.
You got like 100 different faces.
I'm a Scorpio, which makes me a weirdo.
You're a Scorpio?
I can't even tell you're a Scorpio.
Get out.
I know. I watched
crazy.
the sketch and I'm like, oh my God, we're the crazy ones.
The Gemini
scared.
scene hit me that was so real. How Shane acted as a Gemini, I was like, damn, that's me.
Really? I
Yeah.
don't feel like you are like that. I didn't know that you guys were your signs until now.
Really?
What are you? No, I'm a Leo.
Oh yeah,
the
that's why
lion.
we're friends. The
My best
only
friend's a
reason.
Gemini, yeah.
The only reason I picked you because you're a Leo. Do we have time? I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Do it.
I have a question for you guys being like female writers of sketch because I recently watched Always Be My Maybe and I've always hated rom-coms. Like growing up, I never liked them. And I realize why I never liked them and it's because of the way women are depicted in rom-coms. And it's for the first time since like Crazy Rich Asians and like a few rom-coms here and there that I've now realized women are written differently. And I think it's because women are writing women like characters now.
Yeah.
But you guys being in the position that you guys are in, being able to write like how you guys are depicted, like how has that been like empowering and how's that been cool for you guys?
I mean, it wasn't always like that, which is like a thing. Like when we first started, I mean, remember when we just kind of come in, say a couple lines and like peace out? Like that was,
And do a thumbnail photo.
yeah, make sure they got that cleavage shot.
Yeah.
I do.
Not from me. I got no cleave.
I mean, they tried.
A lot of
FaceTime.
lot of that.
But yeah, it's come a long way. I made a dig at one point when we were doing some writing, and I was like, you know, it's really like there's a lot of scenes where the dude enters and it's like, ha ha, yes, here is this conflict, and the female follows around going, yes, and then the male goes, ah ha ha, I fixed the conflict, and she goes, oh, dude, and then the scene's over. Like that's how a lot of scenes seem to me, but like it definitely. It's just cool even just being able to write it at all and just being given that ability definitely makes things feel better and you feel more in control because, and I'm totally talking I'm sorry. Anyway.
No. I mean, this was a question that I had purely like for you guys, because you guys have been able to change like the voice of the brand by being able to be involved in that. And I think that's really, really cool. The sketches that come out now have been highly elevated in my opinion. And I think it has to do with the fact that there's more views. Not views like
more
view counts, but like perspectives. Yes.
Yeah, because I mean, we didn't really have a whole lot of control sometimes over how we as women were in certain content. Like, I know if I was getting dressed for a scene, they wanted to make sure I was wearing something where then they would, I remember the wardrobers would be like, okay, now push them up. And like, I'd have to
I remember,
make myself have cleavage. And like, sometimes I had to be like, no, I can't. Like, that's like too much. And just kind of being from going to being an accessory in scenes, because like Smosh was 2 dudes making videos, and they usually played most of the roles until we started, or they'd have a casting of Sacramento actors. But like now that we actually can be like the focus of scenes and the focus of like the concept of a video, and how to not piss off women, how to not piss off Asians, like those things focused around us, like it's pretty cool because I'm Asian.
You are. You're so Asian.
I love you in that video. It's so good.
My God. That was a really hard video to act in.
I just watched Always Be My Maybe yesterday, and like I like literally cried so hard. And it was an element because I love the story. It's so different because it's not like the cool, wealthy dude and the girl who's struggling. It's like this woman is the really famous, successful one, and the guy is the one that's kind of in a slump, and he has to go and chase her, and like she's the one that's deciding, do I want to be with, It's like a different dynamic, and like she's so powerful, and like it's great. And I started crying. This is so weird, but there's a scene in there when they're having sex, and like I was so emotional watching that. Well, the whole time I was, because you never see an Asian couple doing something so intimate on screen. It's either fetishized or it's like you don't see it.
Wow.
But in this scene, it's 2 people loving each other, like having sex, and it's like I don't think I've ever seen that ever.
Wow.
Because you usually see not Asian people doing that, and it's something so intimate, and sometimes in our culture where that's like a taboo, but for them to highlight that in this movie for kind of a long time too, it was so awesome to see. And then towards the end of the movie, I was just crying so much because 2 Asian people wrote this about not them being Asian. There was the dad wasn't the stereotypical Asian dad, like they were just normal people, and like for them to write that story and I think it just made everyone feel very included, in this. Yeah, I loved it. It was so
I
good.
love the choices they made.
Yeah, and it just they weren't like, hey, we're Asian. It wasn't like that at all. It's just like, this is our life. This is our experience. We drink soups. Like we have this red soup. It's not like, oh, we're gonna just profit off the fact that we're Asian. It's just like I
think it's real stories are being told now, and it's coming to a point where Hollywood understands that it doesn't have to be this like the way that you see like what like Chinese New Year is in a Kmart, like it's like it has to look like a certain way for people to understand what an Asian thing is. Like I think we're getting to a point where audiences are smart enough and they're talking about it enough that Hollywood is responding with like, oh, people just want real stories that they go through, not just like a prepackaged like the overall sort of like what an Asian person has to be, or what what a gay person's life has to be, or like just a minority figure in general. Like it's gotten to a point where it's like, let's take away the element that makes it different and bring together all the things that make us human and come together.
And I think this movie, last little thing, they did it really well where, at the end she has her parents come and she takes her on the red. she takes them on the red carpet, even though they've abandoned her whole life. She still does it, and it has something to do with, like, I think as Asian culture, like, even if your parents, like, are not there with you fully, you have to give them this respect with that is a part of this culture, and, like, bring that in. But then her naming the restaurant after this mother figure that she had, like, that was her really close connection with this person. I just think that, like, everyone can relate to this movie, but at the same time, there were, like, little things like kimchi jjigae. It's something that, like, Koreans love to eat, and it's just, like, these little, like, really cute details in it that's like, oh, this is so, like, Asian and awesome, but at the same time, this is just a story about a couple.
Yeah, but it's so, I agree, like, it's so cool. They just have it there. It's not in your face, but it's very clearly there and, like, enjoyable, obviously. And, like, I think when we make our videos in Smosh, it's like, since we have the voice, it's no longer doing how we think it is palatable for a viewer. It's trying to show genuinely how a woman it would be in this situation. Like, we've definitely, it's come far with that too. And I think both Smosh and that movie have in common, or what we're trying to do, what they so love. Like, they did a great job, but, like, it's just setting a standard of, like, this is what it should be, and this is what it is. This is what it really is, and like, we're not gonna make it appear to be something that it's not. Other than when our videos get hella crazy and weird.
Which is also just a reflection of you guys in general anyway.
Smosh be crazy sometimes. Wow. This has been a great talk.
I'm glad we made time for our talk.
I love talking.
This is why I get nervous about hosting,
I have
guys.
to pee so bad.
I don't know how to end these things.
You want a bottle? This one's almost empty.
I still have coffee. Speaking of which, these is our Smosh water bottles. Be sure to check out our Smosh.store. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me and casting this pod with me.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
I love you guys.
I love you guys.
Oh my god. Shut up. Sad high-fiving. And thank you guys so much for watching and listening. The full audio episodes come out on Wednesdays, and then the full video episodes come out on Fridays. Fridays you get to see our faces, but Wednesdays you get to hear us say some naughty words. I said a lot of them this week. So love you guys. Punch that bell so you get to see the next one.
Punch it.
Don't miss us.
Don't miss
all right?
You don't want to miss this.
Don't want to miss this. All right. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.